Talk to me about Beyond the Gates the last year and a half and your journey to get there.
Okay, so it's been a whirlwind. I graduated in 2024 and I had a showcase in front of casting directors and agents and managers. And I, like you mentioned earlier, was so close to getting this Broadway production. And I wanted that production so bad, Cornelius. I was like, this is it. I'm coming out of school. I'm about to be on Broadway. Child, they say it's a no go. But what I found out later is that if you sign a contract with this production and you decide to leave early, you would have to pay almost like six figures because they kind of like pay you literally. It was not that would have been terrible. But then right a month after I was on a Broadway tour, Jaja's African hair braiding, I booked Beyond the Gates. And so for me to come straight out of school doing something of this magnitude, um, it was terrifying. It was exciting. It was mind boggling. And then the fact that I got a show with such a phenomenal cast and with such legends who are there to kind of show me the ropes, I'm like, I couldn't have gotten a better first experience on a TV show. It's been amazing.
I love that you acknowledge that. I mean, like Tamara Tooney, Clifton Davis. In what world do people get to have that? Like, but you do. You and like
As
your
my first TV show.
yeah, like it is so amazing. I mean, it's just the breadth of their experience, and you're just there, and like you have a lot of scenes with them because I mean, your character Kat is living in their house, right?
Literally.
So yeah,
Yep.
it's just
It's awesome.
yeah, and I
And they are so generous with their advice and their support. And it's been such a gift, such a gift.
talk to me about the character of Kat. Like I said, I know Ronnie Rose said the names were different whenever you all were auditioning. Who did you audition for? Like, were you auditioning for anyone else? Like, so just bring me through that audition process.
Yes. Okay. So, like I said, I was on the Broadway tour of Jaja's African hair braiding, and I got the audition like a week into rehearsals. And they asked me if I would audition for the role of, oh, I cannot remember what the character's original name was, but it was for Eva. And so
Oh,
I actually auditioned for her character first, and it was two scenes. It was one with who would be now Leslie and one with Nicole. Um, and here's the thing, Cornelius. I auditioned Eva just like Kat. Like Eva, I literally, the personality was not giving Amber's Eva at all. It was giving Kat. Um, and so when they saw my audition, they were like, "Yeah, let's have you read for Cat Boo." And they said that they already had an amazing actor for, or an amazing group of actors, but I mean, it was probably Amber for that role. And so I auditioned for Cat. I had one scene with Andre and one scene with Cheryl, who is Ronnie Rose's
yeah.
character Chelsea, and I sent it in, and I just felt like, oh my God, I really wanted this. And I was freaking out because I did two separate takes and I sent the one that I didn't think was good enough. And it was just this whole thing. And then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a call that I booked it and they needed me in Atlanta the following week. So
ASAP.
it's like, which I feel like you've probably heard that before, like how quick the from the, you know, you got the job to we need you here is. Um and it's I'm really happy with the character I ended up with also because when I got the job, I didn't realize how big the character, like how big the role was.
Yeah.
So, and how interesting she is. So, um, yeah, should we get into Kat Richardson?
I mean, we can get into Kat Richardson. What is your take on Kat Richardson, her family, how they treat her. Should they treat her better? Her relationship with her never going to be her sister Eva. Like, there's been truly, I think I've said this before, but your character, and Eva are probably the most interesting story. I'm going to say it, the most interesting storyline on Beyond the Gates. Like the one that everyone follows. Like anytime I mention you or Eva, people, it blows up. So bring me through this. Like, talk to me about Kat Richardson.
Well, first of all, I mean, it is so awesome how the fans are engaging with Kat and Eva specifically. I mean, obviously the show at large, but the way that the debates be going on about Kat Richardson and Eva Thomas is insane. And I'm very grateful that people are so invested in my character and, are so excited to talk about her and to ride for her. They say they ride at dawn. Okay, so I mean, you asked a lot in that one question. I have many feelings. I love Kat, and I am also very protective of her, and I also try really hard to see both sides. When you mentioned family, when it comes to family, I'm like, why? Why you don't ride for Kat? Like Kat ride for Kat.
Yeah.
Why? It's tough to watch sometimes and experience because I feel like Kat has experienced that from the very beginning of the show. And then I also see the other side of it. Kat has said some things that she should not have said and said them in a way that probably made what she said even worse. Um, but ultimately, she was right. She was. Um,
Yep.
she called it from the jump that there was something not right about Eva and Leslie. And a couple of months later, we saw the anniversary party.
Mhm.
And so why y'all don't believe Kat over and over again?
Whenever she's right. Um, we can start from like the most recent storyline. What do you make of this now newfound bond between Kat and Eva?
I was really happy for it when I read the script. First of all, when I read this entire tornado transplant storyline, I was moved to tears. And for many reasons, one being the situation and the sheer um, hugeness of making a decision like this, especially as someone who has had surgery and who has lupus and who has illness. And then just the fact that they gave that storyline to me. Um, I was really excited about the possibility of Kat and Eva being friends and, you know, coming to an understanding. And as we just saw recently, that is not Kat's intention to be friends with Eva. And, I spent a lot of time um, always justifying my character's actions because we can't judge the character. And the reality is, as much as fans would love to see Eva and Kat be best friends, and I understand that, but I know Cornelius.
I
I
know.
know. But we have to think about the weight of what has happened, right? And, you know, I know we're always listing it, but like came into the family, ruined marriage, ruined my parents' marriage, then slept with Tomas, then bragged about sleeping with Tomas. Then now, I mean, yes, Kat gave a piece of her liver, but again, it is Kat giving, right? It's like the third thing is like, as of course, it's not Eva's fault that she got injured. But I think the reality is this not, I think Kat feels like, is this not enough? Have I not given enough? Why do I also have to put all of this stuff aside and just give a friendship, give a sisterhood. What else more? You want me to give more? And so I think that is Kat's mindset. And
Yeah.
she's a stubborn grudge holder. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
You know?
But for good
So
reason. Good reason, as you listed off.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a part of me as Colby would love to see it and just to see the evolution of these two characters. But the reality is Kat doesn't hate Eva. I mean, she just doesn't. It's to me. I think that she resents her and like still holds a lot of anger towards her. But I think after the coma dream, I think she has a lot less hate in her heart for Eva.
What did you think of that episode? Because I'm sure you saw the comments. A lot of fans were upset that, again, Kat was being put into this position to where it's like, Kat's the bad person and needs to see how bad she's been. Where we know if we, the only thing you've done wrong, not you, child, sorry.
I
the, only thing,
look, we can go back and forth. We get it.
the only thing Kat has done wrong was tamper with evidence and maybe with,
Wait,
and,
wait, wait, wait.
and maybe
Brilliant.
that's it.
You said tamper with evidence.
Tamper with evidence. That's it. And
That's it.
and the maybe not been born comment, but truly, that's it. That is the only things that those are the only things that I think Kat has done wrong. So I people think I'm not Team Kat. I'm Team Objective, and objectively, Kat is not the person who should have been in that reverse dream. I don't think. But what did you?
Yeah, well, I can see that. I think I think part of why they did that because it does feel like, again, objectively watching the show, right? It does feel like Eva wants to be sisters with Kat. I think that um I think that now Eva also understands what she did and the magnitude of it. And so I think the reason why the writers chose Kat to have the dream is because Kat has been the only one who's been unrelentless um in not moving past it, right? Like I just cannot move past it and with good reason.
Mhm.
Okay, good reason. But I think that's why the writers chose to give her this kind of daydream because honestly, after this transplant, Eva's like, she doesn't say it, but I feel like Eva's like, cool, we could be good now, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think that's why. And I just have to say about the dream sequence, I know everybody was up in arms about it, but we had so much fun filming it. Like all of the cast, we were cracking up between takes, like just like the opportunity to play for the other actors to play this whole totally different role. And for me, I felt like I was Lizzie McGuire. Did you watch Lizzie McGuire? I felt
Yeah.
like I was the little cartoon character in my own world.
You were
I was
like
like, am I
watching.
a
Yeah.
sitcom?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I liked the scene with Anita where she was like talking about Eva becoming platinum dev, and you're like,
Oh.
you're just sitting there watching it all play out. Um, Beyond the tornado storyline and the transplant, you've been a part of some other big ones. Whenever you walked in, you brought Eva a purse. I'm just gonna say you because you're here, Kat. Anyway, Kat brought Eva a purse, and out walks Tomas. Side note, can we? Okay,
How are you gonna ask this, Cornelius?
I'm no, I'm not gonna ask what you think I'm gonna ask. Um,
Okay.
how do you like
Yes.
I like recording them because we get to talk about really fun stuff and I get to make sure the edit is perfect. Where were we
Yes.
going? Oh, past storylines. So I think the first like big dramatic scene you had was whenever you walked in with Eva and Tomas. He walks out. Uh, that was so long ago. Like, do you even remember filming that or like the
Yes, I remember filming that.
okay, so like whenever you filmed it, did you say, "Oh, this is gonna be like people are gonna be so upset"? Like, what was your take on the reactions that you got to that?
Well, here's the thing. I think me and Amber have often talked about the fact that like Cat fans are Cat fans and Eva fans are Eva fans. And it kind of doesn't, and for the most part, right? Like whatever we do, people usually find a way to support.
Yes.
So I knew that there were going to be some people who were like, well, y'all weren't together anyway. And I knew there were going to be some people that were really livid on my behalf. I have to first say that working with Amber is so much fun. And she's so talented and she's so locked in. And it's so easy to play with her because really we're locked in together. So the moment when I walk in the room, let's start from the set when I walk in. I walk in with the purse and I am like, some would say that Kat walked in to make nice with Eva because Chelsea told her to, right? Because she was like, hey, if you want to keep your man, you need to keep a relationship with Eva. I walk in and I do think that's the primary reason she walks in to give Eva a purse is because I want to keep my man. But what I realized at some point when Kat was talking to Eva that I do think she meant it. She said something along the lines of, we may not be sisters now. My mom and Danny are so different, just like us. And she says, maybe we could be like that one day. And I genuinely think Kat meant it in that moment. Now, she didn't say we sisters right now, but maybe one day we can get to that point. And then Tomas walks out. And she was almost out of the door. He walks out in a towel. A towel. You don't want to put a shirt on, at least pants? He walks out in a towel. And I feel like that was the moment where Kat was really like, I'm never moving past this. I'm never gonna forgive you. And in the vitriol that Eva threw at Kat when he came out was kind of like the coffin and the nail in the coffin. So when we filmed it, I mean, in between takes, I felt like I had to just take deep breaths because I think part of why it's landed on so many people, I mean, plenty of people have been cheated on. And if not cheated on, betrayed in whatever way. And in between takes, I had to calm myself down because it really was so infuriating the amount of betrayal that was in the room. And then after it was all over, we could kind of laugh and, kind of kiki about what had just happened. But yeah, I mean, going back to this recent transplant stuff, like all of that is still in the back of Kat's head, that kind of betrayal and then the vitriol that followed it. That's just like, I don't know. I can't trust you again. Because that was an olive branch, that purse.
Yeah.
And I let my guard down for 1 second and then that happened. Can't do it again.
What do you make of the vitriol with Martin right before the liver transplant? Like he's always reading you, and I know you and Brandon are friends. You have the same
Yeah.
publicist, but like, what do you make of Martin's relationship with Kat? Because it just feels like there's some jealousy deep seated somewhere.
You know what's so crazy? I read comments about that and I actually hadn't even thought of that at all because I feel like Martin and Kat typically when it's not these heightened moments, we jab at each other, right? We kind of say jokes in here and there. But I don't know. I mean, I would have to ask Brandon about it because I never thought about it before I saw the comments. But I mean, let's be honest, everyone says the same thing. Kat is a selfish, spoiled brat, which I hate when I see that in the script. I'm like, you don't understand her. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, it definitely hurt Kat when Martin went in on her, especially with something that is such a difficult decision. But I think the reality is people didn't want Eva to die. I mean, people didn't want Eva to die, and they were really scared that she could die. And so I think that people were just people weren't thinking. A lot of people were saying, Kat just went through a really traumatic event, which is true. But so did everybody else. And so I think during the hospital scenes, we have to remember that people are not thinking straight. Kat's not thinking straight. Martin's not thinking straight. Ted is just trying to protect both of his girls. And Leslie could care less about Kat. She just want to save her baby. So we just have to remember that there's a lot going on, and these characters are just in fight or flight. Oh, you're muted.
I think people forget that we're seeing this day after day, but soaps never, they always like play with the timeline. So like
Yes,
that hospital stuff was happening hours after the tornado.
hours.
Like I don't even believe it was a day after the tornado. Like it was like 7, 8, like at most 12 hours. So these
Right.
people have been up all night, and yeah, so yeah, we, myself included, even though I like to think I'm a more even-tempered fan. Um, we just,
No,
yeah,
you're right. And that's a huge part about with people being like, "Kat, you need to make a decision right now." It hasn't even been 24 hours, right? But I understand, right? We got to save Eva. She gonna die. We have a short amount of time to make a decision, but at the end of the day, like this is a life altering decision, and you're right. It probably hadn't even been a full 8 hours. When we were in Orphe Jeans, it was probably about 5 a.m. maybe.
yeah,
So it's a lot. It was a lot.
yeah,
But again, flight or flight, fight or flight. Everyone is in fight or flight.
exactly. What do you make of some other storylines on the show, like that don't involve you, like Danny and Bill and Andre?
Oh, I love the Danny, Bill, Andre stuff because it's just so interesting. It's so. Here's the thing, Danny, why? Why? And then Bill, you know what the thing that I didn't understand? Why was Bill going to tell Andre? That's the part I didn't get.
He loves to gloat. Like he loves to gloat.
But he had just said to Danny, "You I don't want to hurt you anymore." And it genuinely seemed like he meant it.
He
And
didn't,
then the next
clearly.
scene, he's going to Andre and saying, "Well, maybe watch out for your wife." I'm like, "Bill."
Yeah, no, Bill is not a good guy, and he's just not a good guy. Like that, and there are so many people like that, but then there are so many people who see Danny and Bill together, and of course, Tim and Carla, like chemistry is through the roof, right? Like
Yes.
I don't want them together, and I can see like,
I
okay,
mean,
I see why
yes,
everyone wants them together. Like,
exactly.
but I see it. I do see it. But yeah, like, and I love how like Carla is playing Danny so guilt ridden, and then the writing, like
Yes.
Andre's just laying it on thick, like I was
Oh my
thinking about
God. The
you,
writers,
I love you, like that storm made me
are
realize,
you okay? Let me hug you. I can tell you're still distraught from
yeah,
the tornado.
I love that. I love the writing around all that.
Me
Are,
too.
are we ever gonna get justice for Laura?
That part makes me sick. Oh, and then another comment I read that was like, Kat should have asked Leslie to give herself up before she gave up the liver. I was like, dang, I thought that was genius. It's so interesting reading the comments because they really do put ideas in your head that you really hadn't even thought of. But that would have been such a great idea. But I genuinely think the reason why Kat didn't do anything like that, again, I don't think she really had time to think.
Yeah,
But also if she was doing this for her father, I feel like it's not the time to bargain,
right.
right? Bargain for Eva's life, essentially. Um, so I think it would have been in poor taste in that moment.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool.
It would have been, but the Leslie is the villain that we need on Beyond the Gates.
We need her.
People hate her. People hate her, and I have my thoughts about why they hate her. But
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
yeah, yeah, I'm just like, let's just make this high level. Like, you're not even thinking about why you hate her, but like,
Yeah.
people just don't like to see a black woman do things that they don't want her to do. Like, and she just does whatever she wants. That's my opinion. People have said
And I actually feel that way about Kat too. I feel like Kat has so much agency in her life
mhm,
and she stands by what she believes in and she says what everybody's thinking
mhm.
and she sees things that other people aren't seeing. And I think that sometimes makes people uncomfortable. And I know that also because I feel like in my own life I don't really stand in my agency and my power sometimes. I find that I am not like Kat in that way, and I the way that Kat is sometimes scares me, the actor. Um, but since playing her, I have really tried to bring a lot more of Kat into my life and that power and that no holds barred kind of energy. And I really hope that underneath the surface of selfishness or spoiled brattedness that people can learn from that, learn from Kat's power and even Leslie's power in some ways, where it's just like be who you are, stand for what you believe in, and don't give a about what other people think about you.
I think people don't like Kat because she's rich. that's that's what I really think. Like, we don't have grands that'll just let us move into a wing of their house, like
A whole wing.
a whole wing. So that, I think that plays into it as well, because to the people who are watching the show, like, we don't, a lot of us don't have that. Like, we didn't grow up with wealth, and so we can relate to Eva more. And so I think
Yeah.
that's sort of, I mean, I think that plays a big role in it as well. Like, why some people
Yeah.
gravitate toward Eva versus Kat. You know,
And she can't control how much money she has. She
exactly.
was born into this. It
Born
has
into it. Yeah.
nothing to do with her own decisions.
Yeah. Do we see if Kat says yes or no to Tomas?
Now, I can't answer that question,
Okay, okay, okay. I
but
would, thought I would ask, but yeah.
I do think that Kat is completely caught off guard.
Mhm.
Um, in the scene with Chelsea, she was saying, "No, we're in a good place. I'm not thinking about marriage right now. We're fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it." And so when Tomas does decide to propose in front of her entire family,
The whole family.
it's the whole family after being out of the hospital. Um, it's jarring.
My last question is there anything else you'd like people to know about you, about Kat, about your time on Beyond the Gates, what other projects you're working on, or if BTG is occupying all of your time?
BTG is occupying all of my time. Um, but we do have a really big um, break coming up between seasons. And so I will be doing a new play reading in Ojai. I've never been to Ojai, California before. I'll be doing a new play reading for that. I'll probably take some acting classes during the break, 2 weeks of an acting intensive. And yeah, I'm just really excited to continue to, see what Kat evolves into. And it's been really fun to play a character that is so layered. And then the last thing I want to say is I'm just really grateful to all the fans and the cat crew and the kick cat claw club or whatever it's called, and just people who really support me and support the character. Um we literally would not be a show without you guys. So And thank you. This was so much fun, Cornelius. Oh my gosh, can we be best friends now?
I
This was
mean,
so fun.
if I was in Atlanta, sure. This has been great. I cannot thank you enough, Colby, for hopping on here, spending your lunchtime with me.
Of
Um,
course.
I'll take out all the crazy stuff and
I
probably
know, because we got to gossip off camera. Sorry to the fans, but
yes, a lot of
yeah.
gossip that you can't hear about.